rushing along people is one of the hallmarks of a con artist. Right? Nobody tries to pick your pocket while you're standing still looking at a lake.
Right,
it has to be in a big jostly crowd. Someone has to bump into you, right? So getting things moving and keeping you disoriented and, right? Crime occurs usually in flux. I mean, not like break and enter crime, but, the sort of petty thefts and stealing stuff, right?
Mm.
And so whenever you feel in a hurry, whenever you feel hurried along, you're almost certainly being conned. Yeah, so, I mean, people comments, if you get trolled for, like, what are property rights in a free society and this and that and the other, right? You show me the DRO contract. But I'd say, okay, well, are you concerned about just the initiation of force? Now, if people aren't concerned about the initiation of force, then I don't really care to talk about them because they're just idiots, right? Or smart, which is even worse. But so if they are concerned about the initiation of force, then I would ask them and say, okay, well, what is, in your view, the biggest initiator of force in the world, right? What is the agency that is the biggest initiator of force in the world, right? And if they don't say government, then they really haven't thought about things with any clarity or objectivity or rationality whatsoever, right? Now, you can say to them, well, like if they say, corporations, man, right? It's like, oh, do corporations have the capacity to start war? No, but they profit from war. It's like, yes, but they don't have the Blackwater cannot declare war. Anyway, so you can give them some sort of clues as to the state being the biggest violator of the non-aggression principle, and that's in the public sphere. And then you can say, well, in the private sphere, like in the citizen sphere, what is the biggest violation of the non-aggression principle? Rape culture. No, that is not correct. Bad matriarch. But you would say, well, it would be spanking, right? Spanking is the biggest violation of the non-aggression principle the world over. So it's just you can just try and figure out if people, like before we get into all of the needy, greedy little details about who gives a shit in Buttfuck 3000, right? Just ask people about, do you even know the scope and the content of what you're talking about, right? Like if people are like, I just want everyone to be healthy. I'm so concerned with human health. I want to dedicate my life to bringing maximum health to the maximum amount of people. And you say, do you know what the biggest killer is of people? No! AIDS-ridden tsetse fly bites in Iceland? That is not correct, right? And so you just ask them, do you have any clue what you're talking about? And it's really important to gauge people's level of vague competence. So if people are coming up and saying, well, how do you know you have the right to own land? It's like, whoa, whoa. You're asking me to join you in your graduate lecture. I don't even know if you know how to spell yet, right? It's really important. People will always try to drag you into the most complicated, who gives a shit, spiderwebs in the brain bullshit. And they haven't even proven to you that they know what 2 and 2 make. So resist the complicated, graduate level, advanced, who cares, never happens topics, right? Ask people.
Yeah, no, all this makes sense.
Do you know anything about what you're talking about? Do you know what the non-aggression principle is? Do you know what property rights are? Do you know how they develop? Do you know what is the biggest violator of property rights? I mean, if we're going to be ethicists and talk about virtue and good and bad and property rights and violence and peace and all that, well, let's have some perspective and make sure. I mean, my big thing in life is, are you wasting my time? Right? Which is why after this conversation, I'm giving you this lecture, because you need this, right? Are you wasting my time? I am interested in bringing maximum peace to the maximum number of people in whatever time I have left on this planet, right? And after getting cancer last year, it's not quite as blurry a future as I wanted to be, right? So I want to bring maximum peace to the maximum number of people in who knows how much time. Could have an aneurysm before the end of the show. I don't know, right? And so the important question to ask people, Mike and I were just talking about this today, are you wasting my time? Are you a person from Porlock? That means nothing to you, right? Okay, so Samuel Coleridge was a famous 19th century British poet. So he was a famous 19th century British poet, and he smoked some really good opiate shit one day, right? Lay down on the couch and had the most amazing vision for a poem of an exotic Scheherazade-style land, and he got up and he wrote a poem called Kubla Khan. An amazing, wonderful, beautiful, sensual, delicious poem that's not finished. Not finished. Do you know why it's not finished? Because he lived near a village called Porlock, and a pompous, officious little bastard from Porlock came and went ding, 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 knocked on his door and said, "Hey, Sammy, I need to talk to you about some totally boring shit." Now, he was British, so he's like, "Okay, well, I guess we've got to come in. I want to be impolite, right? I'll finish this poem later, right?" Person from Porlock comes in and says, "Well, the council is thinking of expanding some of the park issues, and this may have some impact on the shadows of the oak trees to the right of your garden. And we're just sort of wondering if you wanted to get involved in a council meeting, perhaps to talk about it." And so he sat there with this pompous douchebag for half an hour, drives the guy out of his house finally, with that icy British mace of, "Oh, I think I'm busy in some undefined way. If you could move on." And then he went back to finish his poem, and it was gone. It was gone from his brain, and the end of this poem will never, ever be known. Ever. So tragic.
I thought you were going to say he couldn't finish it because he OD'd on the opium.
No, he didn't OD on the opium. Opium made a great poem for the guy, right? Hey, cocaine gave us Bohemian Rhapsody. I'm ambivalent about drugs. But anyway, the person from Porlock killed this guy's beautiful poem. Mike, get me the beginning of that poem. People have to hear it. It's just beautiful. But Kubla Khan, Kublak, God, sorry, Khan, I think. And God, I mean, interrupty shit. Are you wasting my time? I mean, I wish he'd just. I mean, frankly, he shot the guy. The poem is worth killing someone over. I wish he just shot the guy, done the time, and finished the poem. Okay, that's the non-aggression principle. But really, it's a nice poem. And this "Are you wasting my time" is really, really important. Kublai Khan? Kublai.
I know you're making me feel like I got to end the call right now.
Kublai. I'm sorry?
I said, now you're making me feel like we should end the call right now. Maybe I am wasting everyone's time.
Okay, good. No, listen, you're not wasting my time because you're allowing me to do a rant on "Don't waste my time." So with people, it's like, is my conversation with you going to add to maximum world peace in whatever time I have left, right?
Yeah. It's a good way to frame it.
It's not Kublai. I was right. I even got the spelling right. All right. Are you ready?
We're ready. I'm ready.
Are you ready? I'll just read you a little bit. He says, "As Kubla Khan by Samuel Taylor Coleridge, or a vision in a dream, a fragment." Why is it a fragment? Because people wasted his time and killed his inspiration. Okay, are you ready? This is beautiful stuff. "In Xanadu did Kubla Khan a stately pleasure dome decree, a sunny pleasure dome with caves of ice." It's delicious, delicious, and
beautiful reading.
Gone, baby, killed by an officious, pompous little nobody who wanted to talk to him about absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. No, maybe that's
all right.
What I'm
well,
doing.
thank you for your call. I appreciate it.
Yeah. I appreciate
Ask
it.
people, find out if people are wasting your time. And if they are, send them to waste somebody else's, right? Okay. Who's up next, Mike?
Appreciate it, man.